Everyone, Accent Boy here, back with another video reaction. And if you're new to the channel, do me a quick favor, like, comment, subscribe. It's free 99. But people, imagine your sister or friend that you know of all your life decided that they meet someone and that they want to move across the country to meet that individual or potentially get married to that individual or even have a baby with that individual. And here we have a case where a young lady who reportedly lost her life due to that situation. She reportedly met this man, got married, and moved across the state with him to live. However, her family didn't approve of this love relationship, so they didn't attend. But sad story, this dude basically was a creep and was jealous of her and killed her. But before we get into the reaction, we're going to let the news chop it up, then we're going to come back and react to it.
Dallas man was sentenced to 72 years in prison for brutally murdering his wife. James Michael Patrick gave little reaction when he learned his fate for killing Janine Chapman. Chapman was an accomplished woman who once worked for the Duchess of York. Today, her loved ones minced no words, sharing what they think of Patrick. Fox Sports' David Santandri was in court today, and David's live in Dallas outside the courthouse tonight. David?
Yeah, Steve, it's a 72-year sentence for that brutal murder, and today the victim's family was telling this now convicted killer face-to-face exactly how they feel about him.
I will never forgive you.
For nearly a year and a half, Shireen Chapman has been working to find words to say to James Michael Patrick, the man who showed no emotion, Friday, as he was sentenced to 72 years in prison for murdering his wife, Janine Chapman, Shireen's sister.
May you endure a life of perpetual fear and decay, confined to an existence devoid of solace or redemption. I want you to suffer every day for the rest of your life. And I want him to hear those words forever.
In 2023, Janine Chapman took time away from work for domestic issues. But when her office did not hear from her for 5 days, police were called for a welfare check. Chapman was found dead in her downtown Dallas apartment. Her family says her body was unrecognizable. Patrick was arrested at a hospital in Austin after he was admitted for treatment to an adverse reaction to an unknown substance he took. While in the hospital, he told doctors he got a bloody and black fingernail while fighting with his wife.
You showed no ounce of remorse or emotion towards my sister during the entire trial.
Janine Chapman previously worked as a personal assistant to Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, for 5 years after college. The Duchess shared her condolences on social media after the murder and has followed up with Chapman's mother in the aftermath.
She called me 3 times. We talked, and she gave me her sympathies, and she told me if there's anything she can do, I must let her know.
Family members spent an hour delivering victim impact statements to Patrick.
You're a monster, and I will sleep well at night, knowing that you are where you belong, in prison, away from society.
One day, a CO will open your cell, and you will be dead on your metal stone bed. And that will be the end of your story.
Now that they've expressed their pain to the killer, they want to share a message with the world.
To people out there, if they see any sign or indication that a loved one is being impacted by a toxic or abusive relationship, do not take the signs lightly.
Now, it's quite common after a jury verdict for jurors to leave and go home. Their job is done, but that didn't happen today. After the verdict, there was the sentencing phase, and that took several hours, and a lot of these jurors actually stuck around throughout that process, some of them in tears in the courtroom during those victim impact statements. They went up to the family members of the victim, they gave hugs, and afterwards speaking with...
All right, viewers, sad situation. Lady lost her life, you know what I mean? And I personally believe that they should have hung this dude, because 72 years is not a lot of years for this family, you know what I mean? And he showed no type of remorse for what he have done to that poor lady, and also the pain that he caused that family. You know what I mean? And here you have a woman who was all about herself and just making the right choice as time goes. As you heard in the news, that she was a very successful lady, and she been going through some type of relationship issue with this dude for some while now, and she was just trying to get her life in order. But him, it just seemed like he was the major problem, and it seemed like she just couldn't get away from him, and with that, he just took her life. And it's just so crazy how a lot of these females, they would know and see the red flags in a lot of these guys and still try to like look over it and not realizing those are warning signs, like to get out of the relationship and move. And I know it's easy said and done, you know what I mean? For many people, it's hard. But when your life is in danger, you have to do what you have to do to get out of that type of relationship. Because as you could see, nothing positive is going to come from it. If you're not going to get your ass whooped, you're going to be in the grave. And sadly, in this case, this lady lost her life and now she's in the grave. You know what I mean? And it's so crazy because over the years, I always seen on the internet, black women always say, oh, date white men. They're so much better than black men. And look at it. Look at it. It's a white man who killed her. It's a white man who killed her, not a black man. You know what I mean? So I guess the grass ain't greener on the other side. You know what I mean? But, and it's sad to say, but it's true. But ladies, and also for men, we just have to pick better partners when we're choosing, man, because at the end of the day, these same partners who we're choosing, they could be your enemy and you don't even know it. And you know what's so sad about that? You know what's so sad? You give your all to that person and they turn around and backstab you. You know what I mean? And this young girl, she looked like she had a good heart. But this dude, he just seemed like he had a lot going on from him. And also he used to do drugs. So maybe that play a part in him taking her life away. But still, he didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? If you and a female is not getting along or a man not getting along, just go your separate ways. It made no sense killing someone and now you have to suffer for your actions. Now you're gonna be locked away for the rest of your life and also in gonna be tortured in prison. You know what I mean? Hearing the families saying that they wish you get what you deserve in prison is really great to hear. But we all know that they would want you to die too. But man, it's just sad. And I said, people don't ignore those red flags because those are warning sign and we got to take it serious. Don't just look at those red flags like, oh, he's just insecure. I know he loved me, that's why he's like this and that. Nah, because you see what he could get you into. So it's sad. RIP to the young lady, and I'm glad the family gets some type of justice. So people, just let me know what you think, like, comment, subscribe.